Yorty, Texas here, thanks for joining me. This is round 10, so that's the last race in the first stage of the Manufacturers Series. I'm starting in 13th place. I didn't really do a good qualifying. I should have been able to do a couple of tenths more. I should be further up in the field. A little bit disappointing start. And I'm doing a strategy here which gonna be kind of monumental when it comes to this race, because I'm doing a 3-stopper. So that means I also need to do fuel saving. So that's something pretty new for me, to fiddle with that in the middle of the race, as well as not revving the car out as much, which is it's okay on the Group 4 McLaren, which that's kind of how you drive that thing. But I'm getting a good start here. Getting a good exit from the Senna S, so sitting now in 11th place. And I try to remind myself to do fuel saving and not rev more than 70, 50, 75%. Coming up on the bend here, so my strategy here is to go into fuel map 3. As you see, I'm changing to it as we're going through the twisty bits here. We have a couple of penalties in front of us, so I'm keeping up with the pack at this point in the lap. It's only the first lap, so here after this turn, I'm fiddling with this a little bit to get it back to fuel map 1. So that's what I'm gonna do here on every single lap, and the goal is to only spend 5% fuel per lap. I was successful with that in the previous race. I didn't really place as good in that race as I wanted to, so that's why I'm doing this second race, to hope that this gonna capitalize, the strategy gonna capitalize better. But it is a challenge to drive like this, and that's kind of the learning here. I'm going a little wide there, so we're now in the second place, the second lap, and you see I'm losing touch with the pack in front. Just I don't know, it was my mindset that I kind of just had to kind of bide my time. I'm not driving aggressively enough here. That's kind of the learning that I'm taking from this race. And I had to fiddle with the fuel map. So here I'm catching up a little bit, but we have the Honda behind us. So after 2 laps, you want to see that you're on a 90% fuel, which I'm not. So I'm not really succeeding here. In the previous race, actually, like I said, I was able to do the fuel mapping, so I didn't have to do any fuel, put in any fuel during the race. So you see how I'm 89%, so I'm actually a percentage, I'm probably gonna be like 2% short here. And it's just kind of frustrating to drive like this. And you see here 2 cars behind me, and all of the cars that's been in front of me, they have the soft tires, so they're on the same compound as me, but I'm just trying to fuel save here, so I'm not really sure it was worth it in the end. So I lost the position there. So Interlagos, that's my my absolute favorite track, and it's going to be redemption for me, and it's going to be a Group 4 race in the next stage of 10. Looking forward to that one. Here I have a decent speed through this turn, but the Honda is catching up with me, losing a little bit of connection with the team up front there, almost 2 seconds behind. So I'm gonna stay on these soft tires for 7 laps. The Honda comes to attack here. And he's passing me here fair and square. I was holding back a little bit there. This is a guy I've been driving with a lot, so I didn't want to mess up his race. So we're braking forward a little bit. I think this is in the 6th lap. This is just a cool little... It was a really clean race. And look at that, the BMW coming through here. And I'm able to defend this one really well. So here we come into the 7th lap. So this is where I'm going into the pits. So at this point I'm going into the pits as 11. No fuel. So you see I'm a little bit under, a little bit over rather on my fuel consumption. And as you see, I have number 12 on the door. So coming out in 14th place. I'm able to defend that position. So as we're on the lap number 8 here, I'm in 14th place. Cold tires here. So you see I'm trying to fuel map a little bit higher here, saving more fuel hopefully. So you see how slow I am through this corner. I mean, this is... I think, you know, just driving with fuel saving in mind, that's not for me. It's not a fun race. So I'm driving this race, you know, really tentative, losing the guy in front here. So I'm 59% fuel, and I should be on 60% here. So we're cutting forward again. So now I'll be driving on the softs. So now people are starting to change here. So I'm doing my my second pit here. So coming in here in 7th place. So now it's time to do the mediums. So I'm gonna do these mediums, run the mediums until lap number 19, and then for the last lap I'm gonna put on the hards. So I didn't do any fuel on this one, and the nice thing with having the hard, which is just going for one lap, is I have the opportunity to fill if I need to. If I do the longer stint in the end, I kind of felt like, okay, you know, I might run out of fuel. So anyway, I'm just pressing forward with the strategy here. So lap 15, doing the cold medium tires, and as you see there, the best lap I've done on the softs is a 1:32.6. And that's 1 second slower than I did my qualifying. So that's what I'm thinking. You know, I've been losing too much time here. So at this point, what I thought I should have looked at the timing and see that I was going so slow. So the couple of seconds I would spend to refuel if I was driving full on, that would probably have been worth it. We're gonna see how this develops here. Here I'm coming in on lap 19 in the medium. I have 5% fuel left, which is about where I need to be. So I'm putting on the hard, but I don't want to take the chance here. And you have to do a little. I don't think you have the option actually to say no fuel when the diamond shows that you actually need fuel when you go out on something weird. So I think, as you see this little gaggle of cars in front of me, I actually think I lost quite a few positions just by the fuel situation here. So see there, now I'm in 15th. And I have a gaggle of cars 4 seconds ahead of me. So yeah, I don't think I spent 4 seconds longer there because I did a little fuel dip there. So I'm on the last lap here, so this hard tires that are cold are kind of horrible to drive. So I'm not able to catch up at all with the group in front. So was the strategy worth it? No, it was not a fun race. I didn't really compete, and you see that I put on the throttle too much and start to fishtail. So not all of my videos is just to show, you know, what a great race I had. Sometimes you have to show a race and maybe just discuss the strategy if it was the right one. The deal was I didn't feel that I could do 10 laps on the soft tires. That just, maybe I could do 8 and 9, but 10, I just couldn't see me doing that. So 15th in this race, a lot of learnings, which is really what you want to get out of a race if you don't win or get on the podium. So I really appreciate you watching this video, and of course subscribe and like, and I'll see you next race. Thanks for joining.